welcome to the Fan of Film Get Together. Tonight we are doing The Ancient Light. Tonight with me is Frank from Phil Ferret Productions. Frank, how are we doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fantastic, and it's a wonderful night to do this ancient light, especially when I look outside and it's ancient dark.
Wah, wah. Oh, my goodness. I will laugh just for you, my friend. I will laugh. Me and Ian are laughing for you, my friend. So with us in the chat, we got a couple of people with us. We've got one comment.
Daniel Vance and Daniel Vance.
Yeah, yes, we do. We got Daniel Vance who says greetings and salutations. And he says, evening, everyone. He was seeing the same thing we did, which was himself. He's, well, hi, Daniel. But then we had Ian pop up. He must have heard, his ears must have been burning. He's like, oh, they're talking about me. He says, hey, guys, here for a few minutes, then I'm off to bed. Well, Ian, thank you very much for joining us, my friend. It's a pleasure to have you, and it's a pleasure to have you, Daniel. Like
Ian,
I said,
sleep is overrated.
To those of us who don't get any, it is very much overrated. So we do have, to give everybody a chance to kind of stumble on in the chat here, and then to join us for the film. We do have a couple things coming up in the days ahead. We have tomorrow night, we have on the, let's see, on the Critical, Not Cynical, we have, what film do we have tomorrow? Frank?
Tomorrow we have Interlude. Axonar.
We do have Interlude, Jonathan Lane's project, Interlude, which was Joshua Irwin and Victoria Fox's film
right,
for Jonathan Lane.
Okay, I messed up then.
No, it is by John. Wait, are we doing Interlude tomorrow? Is it Interlude?
Yeah, Interlude, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Joshua Irwin and Victoria Fox did the film for Jonathan Lane. So we get to watch that wonderful film and critique it and see just what it was all about.
Will anybody be on?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we can probably grab a person or two to come join us.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And if not, well, that's fine. We'll see. I'm pretty sure Jonathan will join us for a few minutes. I'm pretty sure I can bend his arm, and Josh might be able to. He's always pretty friendly to do that. We'll see. And then we have on Sunday night, we have the release of Odyssey Part 2, a brand new film from No Budget Productions, Phil Ferret Productions, that's coming out. So join us, and that's at 7 p.m. And then Monday morning, we have Pizza Roll Diaries for Jason Spriggs, Mr. Raygun himself. So join us. That'll be really fun. And it's been a while since I've talked to my good old friend, and we'll be discussing his involvement on editing Greg Mitchell's film that he put out a few months ago. And name slips me on the film. Again, those of you that know me know I'm terrible on names of films, but I will have that known by Monday morning. So join us. But it'll be good to talk to my old friend again, Jason Spriggs. So and he's done a lot of editing on a lot of stuff, and he's been really busy on a lot of other projects. But again, to talk about the editing of what it was like on the Starship Artemis film, and going back to Beloveds, and figuring out how to reinterpret that planet and redoing, basically doing an entire Defiant class ship and whatnot. It's kind of cool to sit there and see how an entire ship has been done, an entire planet's been reinterpreted. So I kind of want to get into the creative mind of that guy and just kind of talk turkey with him. So Daniel Vance says someone has a very happy car. Ian Mitchell says, "Yeah, lots of horn blowing."
Yeah, we were talking about that just before we came on. Funny that you guys should have brought that up tonight of all nights.
Yeah, one of the things of I always work through my breaks and whatnot, so I'm always working through these things. Um, so I I eat through my breaks. I work through my breaks, I eat through my breaks. I don't really get a technical, hey, go through your breaks this way. So I do these things while I'm working. And that's just kind of one of the fun things of work. I'm always working while I'm doing something. So that's just part of the it's just part of the take the good with the bad. So I'm always here.
She just
So
snuck in.
Yep. Donna Parker just stuck in. So, Ian Mitchell says horn blowing, banana hammocks, and greasy pole dancing. What more could Frank want? That's why I'm his partner. That's it, Ian. What more could you want, Ian? You keep coming around. We got something for everybody here. So there's that.
Yeah,
so
he's been picking on me lately, and what does I say? Oops, what do they do here? On Facebook.
I've been seeing the comments, just in the comments in general. Him. He's been slipping them in there because I've been commenting on everything everyone says, and I see those Ian comments. I'm like, those guys.
But it's so much fun. Oh, minions. Yep, exactly. We have minions and minions and minions of stars.
Good God, you two.
That was a Carl Sagan. If you hadn't read, billions and billions and billions of stars.
You guys. One day I want there to be a picture of you two together. That'll really make my day if I see a picture of you guys together. That'll be like the best selfie. That'll be like the new background where I've got on here the picture of the Phantom and the picture of Minard. That'll be the new background. If there's ever a picture of you and him together, that'll be like the new background, because that's like ultimate fandom.
We'll work on it. Ian, send me your best picture. What I'll do is I'll Photoshop it.
No, we need a real one. We need a real one. A real one.
Where does Ian live? Ian, where
I have no idea.
What part of the country are you in?
This is where he's like, I got to get that TRO, man. It's it's like
you're in the UK. I never realized that. Cool.
Oh, well, you got to.
That's. I never realized that you were across the pond. That is fantastic. I'm internationally known.
Wanted lists in the post office are everywhere now, Frank. That's exactly it.
This is why we can't have peace with England.
Right? Ian says jokes between.
Yeah, it makes the world a happier place. Absolutely, Ian.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So that being said, we are 8 minutes in. Let's go ahead and start the film. We'll both hit our mute, and we'll let the film go, and then we will talk about the film. So,
alrighty.
Luggage. First of all, you take Commander 8 to Paul.
Nice to see you again.
One men's classified, unfortunately. I wonder what happened to him and Eric. They used to be the best of mates. But Jay won't ever talk about it. Jay saved my life when I was on a bad path. I almost don't want to open this, but this is work. And it's part of my network.
Eric, I know how we left things. It made it awkward. But it's Ash. He wouldn't leave home when the war broke out, and the Federation won't get involved. I don't know who else to turn to. He's my brother. You've seen how smart he is. Please find a way. Help him. You know my heart. Jennifer out.
I think we're safe for now. Todd and Mark told me about you, that you people help people like me.
You could say that. Let's just say I know what it's like to be lost inside the system.
You? You don't know anything about me, fat man.
You run. Or whether it's away or towards something, you don't know. But I can help. You're tired of running. And I can't help.
How?
I can give you a life worth living. One where you're in control. One where you're not a slave to the ones around you.
Do you think they'll ever stop fighting?
I hope so. But you have a choice. Stay here and fight their fight, or you can come with me and live your own life.
And do what?
Join Starfleet. I'll sponsor you through it. Explore the universe, do what you want to do. Make your own decisions. It's your choice.
I'm still not sure why you care.
Because I know what it's like to go alone. And no one deserves that.
You see, no one's ever had faith in me before. It's kind of like a new concept to me.
I do. I see greatness in you.
You've only met me once.
Call it a hunch. I get those a lot.
So, guess that makes me your sidekick then.
I'll look out for you like family. Like I do the rest.
Can I ever return home?
Well, if that's what you want, yeah.
You have a deal, fat man.
He's better off this way.
What did you do?
They're all better off this way.
We need to get you some help.
And you're better off this way.
So, Frank, one more film that didn't have any after credits.
Yeah, I know, threw me off as usual, but that's okay. There's no problem. I enjoy. You see, that tells you that I purposely did not watch it again to remember it this week, because last week you ran me up and down my pole.
Weirdo.
Weirdo.
See, this is one of those ones. If I had done this, not so much, if this hadn't have been so early on in my quote unquote film career, I probably would have done the TOS, not in the after credits. I would have done the cage part as the main part of the film, probably extended it a little bit more, and then done the TOS part as the after credits. So that's probably how I would have redone this film. Now, but since this was a little bit more earlier on in my film career, it was a little bit different of my approach. So what did you think of the film?
Okay, my only nitpick on this film is, and I've noticed this on a couple of these, is the very beginning of the film. It's hard to understand for me it is. Maybe it's my ears, but it's hard for me to tell what she's talking about when she's doing the run up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's her pitch of voice or whether it's the background noise, but I've watched a few of these with that scenario in that. I think in the Minard saga, you use that a lot, and it's just for some reason I can't understand what she's saying.
You mean the actress or?
Well, the actress, the actual words to me. So I could be my ears.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah. Ian Mitchell says better audio. Yeah, that's part of it is editing. Part of it's some of the sound quality of what we get from some of the people that we get. I know that was one of the nitpicks we had for definitely Cageless from last week was audio. That's part of the problem that you get when you work with people, from all over. Is you're kind of at the mercy of what they have for turn sound way. Yeah, I have to turn my sound way up. And honestly, like my phone, because I watch, like when I listen to it on my big screen TV, it's no problem. But when I listen to it on my phone, if I don't have my headphones plugged in, I can't hear shit. And it's because my speaker for my phone is crap. When I have my headphones plugged in, my volume is constantly up. And again, I don't like you. I don't know if it's because I'm just getting old, or if it's because it's poor audio quality from the video, because of again some of the stuff that we get sent in. And again, some of it's it's not necessarily the editing fault or the fault of the person who sent it in, or making excuses. It's just, hey, sometimes what you have is what you have, and you have to make do. Yeah. But like when like if I send you, Frank, something, and my well, hell, what's the film that we have where the character of Martinez is seeing all those ghosts?
I don't remember the name of it, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, well, if you notice during some of those scenes, it's very blurry over some of the sequences. And the reason that was is because I had gone all night with my phone at work, because at the time I was a forklift driver here at work. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. Ian says he had to turn me and Frank down lower when the film was finished. Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, like I at the time I was working forklift, and so my phone I think was only like at maybe 30% when we got off, and we had filmed that particular film after we all got off work. All of us went over to my house outside that field, that's outside my house. Yeah. Because there's a huge green space that's perfect for planetary stuff. my phone died, and
Ooh.
so I told, I had ordered breakfast pizza from Casey's, cheap plug for Casey's, for everybody, because I felt like, hey, if you're going to come over, let's, I'll provide food, because I usually do that, or we'll have potluck whenever we shoot for the whole day. Everybody will bring something, and we just, we have good fellowship while we're filming. And but I bought breakfast pizza for everybody, and when my phone died, I told Jim Lewis, this was his first film. I said, hey man, would you mind if we shot the rest of the remaining scene on your phone? Because there was only like maybe 2 more shots that I needed. And he said, oh, sure. Well, when he shot, what we needed, he rubbed his finger over the lens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and my, what looked like it was, okay, this is just a phone quality issue, maybe. It wasn't. It was the fact that his greasy ass fucking finger was over the phone.
Well, at least it's not pole grease, okay?
Right?
Well,
Ian's cursing under his breath right now.
And right now, I think that I really felt bad because Jen did her part for I'm trying to think our last the last film in the series where she's on the bridge. Oh, Rebirth.
Right.
And she sent it.
Did she do? She did. Oh, already?
Yeah, she did. And her camera on her laptop is not that great. I mean, she did fine, but it's all blurry. And I went, oh Lord. Fortunately, we're not going to be shooting the rest of that until until probably later part of the summer. So I gave her a couple tips about using her phone as a camera on her computer, because hers is pretty much a comm box. So
right.
We'll see. But you see, that's the thing. Sometimes you just, I see what you're saying, that you just can't get what you need. Now, if we were coming down to the wire on it, I might have had to use that footage, but since we've got plenty of time to reshoot it, and she may not kill me, we'll probably do it that way. And, because everything else was fine. It was just the quality of her laptop camera.
Right. And that's, for me, like it's one of the things, since she's on the combat, again, like it's one of those things where, I'm always appreciative, and especially to Carly, because she's such a sweetheart, and it's always, I know that she was having, when she films her stuff, like she lives in an apartment with other people, and so it's always difficult to find the times of day to where it's silent in her apartment, either by her roommates or the people, or the people outside the apartment. So you have to also take that into consideration. It's not just a perfectly silent room. It's kind of like when I'm here at work and I have to do like an ADR. It's easy for me to record my lines, but then you have to factor out, it's not a perfectly silent room. So you have to, the editor has to kind of, edit out the noise in the room and then kind of zone in on my voice. It distorts the voice somewhat. So that kind of dampers the voice some. So, I mean, I completely understand where everyone's like, the audio is kind of hard to hear sometimes. And there's a couple of if we go to iWarp Prime, the audio when we're talking to the Amy character and she's supposed to be right next to me on the bridge, and I even with my earphones, I can't hear anything she's saying, and I'm screaming to the heavens where I'm like, man, I if I could go back, I'd rather just take a Mickey Mouse character and we're here to attack them, Captain. Like, just give me something, like, because I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, I understand.
And when somebody's blowing their horn when you're live, LOL, you son of a Ian, damn it.
Ian, right? Did you say you were going to bed?
It's 4 a.m., Ian. It's 4 a.m. This is why there's international hostilities in places, Ian.
No tea and crumpets for you in the morning.
Oh, this is why we love you, Ian.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, it was only that part. The rest of the film was fine. You know, you were outside. Oh, 427. And soon will be 427. Well, we really appreciate you hanging in there, buddy. Really do.
I love you much, man.
But you know, the rest of the film, it was just that certain particular part. I mean, it was great. The outdoor scene this time you could hear, and everything else was good. And of course, you know, her coming over the oh Lord, you better get some sleep, my friend. I mean, you go now. I mean, we can catch this on the rerun. It's not going to break our heart.
Ian, Frank is not worth it. Let me tell you, I'm with him live, and I don't think he's worth it. So
See,
it's
ask Donna.
Donna, you got to help us out here. Like, you know, it's anything for you, brothers. Aw,
I know.
bless.
But come on, Ian. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart, Ian. This is why we love you, man. But no, the thing I really wanted to accomplish for having her in the scene is this takes place, of course, after Emily's or before Emily's death, and I really, after well, actually technically before they even get together, but I really wanted to set up the fact that later on, after Emily's death, Jennifer and Minard get together, and I wanted to build the relationship of these two people are close, and eventually Minard wants to be with her. Of course, she goes off on the Melbourne, and they never end up actually getting together. Right. But I wanted to set up the fact that these two are close, and let's start seeing some of that relationship of why. And I wanted to allude to the fact that there's history between these characters. They're of course pen pals, and then there's a relationship, and they're close. And of course, any chance I get to work with Carly, I want to, because I really adore that person. She's a wonderful woman, and when I got to work with her on the Melbourne sets, I felt like I had known her for years, and she felt the same way when she was working with me, and she's one of the people that I actually can't wait to see when I get up there in Vegas, and she's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to go.
Okay.
I really don't care to go see. I don't like crowds, so going and talking in front of hundreds of people doesn't really appeal to me. But getting the chance to go see my friend, that's kind of appealing. Putting her in the film and then building the relationship between Minard and Sierra, Eric and Jennifer, that was appealing. I wish I could put her in more stuff. Sadly, some of the stuff that you've seen, like in Minard 2, was reused footage from some of these other films. Just because she wasn't available, but I always clear, hey, I want to do this, is it okay if I use stock footage? Because I always try to run everything past, hey, this is what I want to do with your character, is this okay? And she's always like, yeah, let's do it, just because I always am respectful to her, because even though it's my character, I can do whatever I want, it's still I feel, hey, this is your character, you've put in some of the work. But I also wanted to kind of have that, hey, Minard has this kind of protege type character. I wanted him to have, kind of this Dick Grayson type character. You have your Robin, and then you have this Jason Todd type character, another Robin, who kind of goes all Red Hood on his ass, and then, you have this kind of tragic story of two proteges. And then, because I knew later on, we would have this, kind of Jason Todd type Red Hood type story where, he's not right in the head. And that story takes place between what happens here. So again, I had all these storyline. I mean, you know how my mind works, and that takes place here. Um, you know, again, I was always setting things up for other things, and when you watched them, you would always be able, I always wanted the audience to kind of fill in those gaps and kind of come to things on their own, to where, if you got it, you got it, and if you didn't, you could always just enjoy it for themselves. Ian says, I can think of a couple of YouTubers that could learn a thing or two from you guys at how to review fan films properly. Ian.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, you'll never hear effing bullocks come out of my mouth, man. Like, bless your heart, Ian. Bless your heart, man. And that come to think of it, to all of you that are listening, either on the rewind or live, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time, we are going to have a special edition of Fair and Unfair Criticisms Part 2, which is going to have myself, Frank, David Chang, Jonathan Lane, Joshua Irwin, Gary Davis, Randy Wren, and possibly George Kyan, if he can make it or not. We're not sure. He has some things going on. He will try to make it if he can. We are going to be having a huge ass roundtable discussion of fair and unfair criticisms of fan films, and we're going to be discussing, because I wanted a bunch of content creators and to discuss fair and unfair criticisms. And it's not going to be a whine fest of, oh, they're harsh on it. Like, no, because we understand criticism. But we already had part 1 the other night where I kind of got on there and was like, man, fuck this. But I wanted to get other people's opinions. And it's those that know what's going on know. Those that don't, I didn't feel the need to bring them on and involve them in unnecessary drama, because I don't feel that there's drama. But those that know, hey, let's kind of make our voice heard and let's kind of talk about this. Because it was kind of asked, hey, you should have this, you should talk about this, and the fact that it's kind of thrust upon me to be a voice. Hey, I don't mind being that voice.
Yeah,
but after
asked both of us to do that on there. I said you and Frank should do that.
Yeah,
so that was good.
But after that, probably won't discuss it too much more, because I don't believe in throwing venom. And I'm not going to continue. I don't want to be drama. I want this to be a channel of positivity. So that's what we're going to be doing. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. And as you guys know, I don't mind, taking pot shots at my own film, but that's what we're going to be doing for you guys to enjoy. Ian says I have to watch part 1 first, and when I went to watch it, the upload had vanished and then reappeared again. Yeah, I took it down just because, I thought maybe this is just being too dramatic. Maybe I'm being a wine bag. And then later on, I was like, fuck it. It is what it is. Let's put it up. Because if I put part 2 up and part 1's not up, people are gonna be like, "Where's part 1?" So that's why I put it up, because so that's on me. So, but yeah, this film, I always, even early on, especially in the early days, I did a lot of time jumping.
Yes, he does. He always talks fairly. No, you're absolutely right.
Oh, I didn't even see that comment. Thanks, Ian. I try to, because there's several sides, there's 2 sides to a coin, and there's more than one side of an issue. And sadly, those people that get on there and try to be Mystery Science Theater 3000, that's a very ignorant stance to take, and those people that they think a fan film is just shit. You don't know the entire story. You don't know what goes into it. And, my stance on it is, even if you make a bad film, go make it, because at least you're learning from it. And even if it's not my cup of tea, great. At least you did something, and at least you had a good time. And I think anything, it gets you out of that. If you're nervous, hey, cool, you broke out of that shell. Go do it again. and now let's go do it again, and let's go involve more people, and let you know you're learning, and yeah, no, you're right. I'm not always right. Then who is? That's exactly it. You know, um, you never know. You never know what goes down the road. But for someone to just say, "Oh, this is shit," that's just fucking trolls, man. And I know there's some people out there that would say, you're just feeding the trolls by continuing to talk about it. No, I think some things should be talked about.
And I think there should be some type of record on it, because it is something like it affects you to a degree. And it's really funny, because Vance said to me the other day, he says, Frank, I think you took this harder than I did. And I guess it's when you know that somebody puts that much work into something, you can give criticism. I mean, hell, everybody can criticize anything, but let's do it constructively. Don't tell me something sucks and don't explain why it sucks, because if I don't know how to fix it, then, we used to have this thing in quality assurance. I would rather, if you had a problem with my product we sent to you, to complain about it, because then I could fix that product. But if you never said anything, or you were telling everybody else except for me what was wrong with it, and I never heard anything back, then I can't help you by making it better for what your needs are.
No, and Ian says those guys are only after causing a drama to get more views. No, and that's the thing. Like I already saw one of my quote unquote fans. He left a comment on another video that said, "Man, this is great. This is like Mystery Science Theater 3000." And my stance to that is, you are supposedly a fan of mine because he's left a lot of comments on my videos. But if your opinion is this is great content that they're putting out, which is ridiculing us, then I don't want you as a fan. And I mean that 100%. Don't follow me. Don't watch my shit. Don't, if that is what you consider good content, which is ridiculing David Chang, ridiculing Josh Irwin, ridiculing me, don't watch my shit. Don't leave comments on my shit. I don't want you to watch my stuff, because I don't believe in hypocrisy. I don't want you to come on my stuff and say, "Man, this is great stuff, Vance," and then go to their stuff and say, "Haha, man, this is good stuff. Way to get them." Don't do that. I don't believe in that. Because there's plenty of there's plenty of YouTubers that I don't like and that I no longer watch. But I don't publicly bash them. I don't go to other people's channels and say, "Hey, don't do this." Fuck them guys. Fuck, I don't talk about them. I simply just ignore them.
That lowers you to their level, and it's not worth it.
No. And the thing is, like, if I saw somebody bashing that person, I'd tell them, "Hey, shut the fuck up. Don't fucking talk about them." I've always believed that character is what you do when no one else is around. Mm-hmm. And you just proved that you're not really a fan of mine if you're going to go sit there and it's one thing to sit there, like I rib on fucking Frank all the time, but it's done in jest. But
and if you didn't, I'd be really worried.
right. At the end of the day, though, like, I know Frank's got my back. And it's the same thing with all of you guys. Like, if you guys seriously opened up to me and said, "Hey, Vance, I need you," guys, I'd drop the world to talk to you guys if you needed it. But this, like, I don't believe.
And I've got Vance's back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Creeper. And I've got his back because you guys always see that fucking pole in the background of my room at my house, But no, it's the thing of, like, don't go to my channel and say, "Man, this is great content," and then go to someone else's channel that's ribbing, that's degrading everything that I stand for. And just do the hypocrisy. That's not. Thank you, Frank. You know, to me, there's just no need for it. You know, because I love constructive criticism. That's why we're doing these on my films, where I sit there and say, Frank, what did you think? And he, you know, says, hey, I didn't like this, or hey, I liked this. You know, and I say, well, this is what this was about.
Mhm.
You know, same thing with the other people's films. You know, we give you guys two shows. You know, one about mine, one about others, that are trying to look at it from both sides.
Right.
You know, and we welcome the content creators to come on and talk about, hey, what was it? You know, here's what we honestly thought. You know, and I don't think we've ever really been unfair. And people who sit there and say we pull no punches. Frank and I've never pulled any punches. Um, you know, there's a misconception about, you know, being honest is being an asshole, and some people just cross that line, and if they were to be that way in person, they'd get the taste smacked out of their mouth.
Well, here's the example. Vance, last week's film, the fucking sound sucked big time. I don't understand why the hell you couldn't have straightened it out. Instead, okay, I think the wind was a little bit behind it. Is that what was causing a lot of that? See, there's two different ways you can approach things. And, you know, come out and say, yeah, okay, we had problems with the sound. So what were the reasons we had problems with the sound? Okay, so somebody out there is going, geez, I want to make a fan film. Let me think about that. Okay, they're having problems because they don't have a windscreen, and they're discussing the problems. It's not, hey, the sound sucked. Okay, let's go on to the next subject.
Well, it's kind of like when I was younger, and you know, it's kind of like I was explaining to one of my friends. I'm like, you know, when you're on a date, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go up to someone and say, you know, when you're on a date, you tell a woman, you know, you tell her, you have a face that could make time stand still. Like, that's a really nice compliment to give someone. You know, that's a really beautiful compliment. But if you go up to that same person and say, your face could stop a clock. Oh, Jesus Christ, what? Fuck. You know, I mean, you just don't like, wow, that's, you almost hear that wah wah, you know.
Yeah.
Or if you're,
Your teeth remind me of the stars. They come out at night. I love it when I stop him dead.
I'm wondering where it's going.
No, I said your teeth remind me of the stars. They come out at night.
Oh, I thought you were really talking to me. I was just saying, go on, tell me about my teeth, Frank. I'm getting on my. Oh. I was waiting to get on my own pole, Frank. But no, like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, to sit there and, but to sit there and you know, these we're going down rabbit trails. So anyway, exactly, Ian, exactly. Matt Six, what the fuck is Frank on about? Ian, that is always what's on my mind. Like, what, Frank? Why am I? If this check doesn't pass, I'm getting rid of this guy.
Remember, I've been sober for 22 years. It's just be natural.
Yes, rabbit trails, Ian. Yes. Yes.
Oh, golly.
So anyway, so that's what we're doing on Tuesday night, 10 p.m. I welcome you guys all to join us, because it's not just me and Frank getting on our soapbox. It's all of us sitting there talking. And not all of us have the same opinion. There is one guy in there who says fan films can do no wrong, to which I say hogwash, because I look at my films and I go, there's a lot of wrong with my shit. So, you know, we're sitting there critiquing ourselves on our critiques. I say, come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to have a lot of content creators. It's going to be a very unique round table.
No, Ian, you're having fun. Keep it up.
Yeah, no, Ian, don't ever, William, you didn't miss a thing. Don't even. It's not worth mentioning. No, you didn't. But it's going to be very fun. But back to this film, I wanted to build on the history of Minard and Sierra, and then give him like I said, the apprentice, one that could have been a really good partner, like Nightwing. This guy should have stepped up and been really heavy in the network, and this is the guy that could have been the next Minard, and then the other guy that is jealous and is just fucked in the head, and that's why, like, later on in the film, Two Birds, One Stone, like, you find out why he went nuts. It was the Phantom that screwed with Martinez, and that's why he kills Ash, and that's why, like, it's all like, all of this plays into all of these other films, like, and it wasn't his fault, and it really does give him that kind of Red Hood origin, and that's why, like, in the beginning of Two Birds, One Stone, like, he kind of has the kind of the blue jacket, because that's where he's kind of, it's kind of the homage to the kind of the Nightwing-esque type thing. And then in the Nausea films, he has, in the end, in the after credits, when he shoots me, he's got the Romulan helmet on, and he's got, like, a red shirt, because I was like, no, this is where you turn kind of full Red Hood-esque and execute me. He's like, oh, dude, you finally go Red Hood. I'm like, well, it's my take on Red Hood, but I do that. Like, I put a lot of comic book story elements in my films, because I'm like, dude, I'm never going to do a comic book story. I mean, I already did that once with Pursuit, but this is my, Star Trek version of those storylines with my characters, Ian says somebody should review the reviewers from, well, you know who. No, and I thought about that. I really thought about playing that video and being like, Frank, let's do this, and pause it every time we have a problem with their review. But that would be like a 2-hour review.
I was going to say, I don't think we have enough time.
No, I really thought about doing that, just being like, let's just pull up their video and just review their review. But I mean, dude, it would be like a drinking game. Every time we hear fucking bullocks, just take a shot, like but I'm on a diet right now, and if I took like a shot of chocolate milk, I'd be like up 5 pounds, because like I'd have to have like the full gallon of milk. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, or if I ate like a pizza roll, I'd have to have like 3 fucking full 120-piece bags, because he says it a lot, dude. It's fucking shit. It's fucking bullocks. Like, dude, grow up, dude. What an asshat. You go eat a dick.
You know how it is with people with limited vocabulary.
Well, dude, like, articulate what you're saying. Like, pause you're talking during the whole thing. Pause the video and say, this is where this dude sucks. But I mean, you sit there. I mean, you automatically start the thing and say, oh, I almost fell asleep during it. Oh, that's a wonderful way to start the video. It automatically tells your audience, don't like this film. What? I mean, the way you and I do ours, we let the audience watch with us. And then I say, so Frank, what do you think, man? And then you say, well, Vance, you really ate the big one on this. Ah, shit, Frank. This is why I hate being your partner. Oh, okay, so here's the... I mean, then Ian comes in.
Get out of my head, will you? Then Ian comes in with the pole jokes.
Right, that's what I was saying.
I knew that's what you were going to say too. That's the horrible thing. We both came at it. Ian, you're destroying us.
That's what I'm. It always goes back to Ian. But no, like it's just one of those things of like I really thought about that, but I don't want to direct their channel any attention. And again, like after Tuesday, I will tell my audience, like, hey, don't, like, I don't go to their channel. I don't want to direct my channel to them in any capacity. I don't want to, if they review my shit, great. Not going to watch it. Not going to go to their channel. Not going to give this any more talk about. It's not worth my time. They can say whatever they want. I mean, here's my thing. The highlight of their video is when Royce and I come on at the end of him saying, "I'm not going to say anything because his son is here, or his son is there, so I'm not going to say anything." That's the highlight of your video. So if that's you taking the moral road, that says a lot about your character. You're a piece of shit. So, I mean, why would I want to give them any attention?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, you know,
It's what
William
it
Wells
is.
says, "Did you wake up on the wrong side of your bed?" No, Williams. That's why I said you didn't miss anything. Don't.
Yeah. We'll address it more on Tuesday night when we have everybody else together. So.
Yeah, Bill. You don't know what's going on, man. So
Yeah. So anyhow, but I enjoyed the film. I really did. As I said, that was the only minor, and I think it was minor because I think a lot of that is because of my ears, but everything else in the film, was fine. The outdoor, and I loved the bat lift.
you love the what now?
The bat lift.
Yeah, no, and the batleth, like that was a thing I bought off eBay a long time ago, and I really wanted I really wanted there to be a reference to I really wanted that to be there because I wanted to feel like if you remember, Jadzia going off on her adventures, and I really wanted that to be a Korath nod.
Yeah, I know. I figured it was for Korath too, actually.
Yeah,
from that in the house of Korath. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted that to be something that we could tie into Korath, where he would be, where we could tie it in there. And then, hey, Matthew Bracey, how we doing, man?
Talk much? Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, so I really wanted that to be a Korath reference. And if you've seen, other stuff, I keep throwing the Batleth in there, especially with the T'Pol stuff. There's a reference to T'Pol and Korath kind of knowing each other. And again, like I really want there, with Steve, if we could make it happen for us to have like one just Korath Minard story. I know Steve wants to do kind of like a table read of a story, which I really want to happen.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, because I mean, Steve is such a smart guy, and he knows what he wants in a story. So I mean, anything we can do to make that happen. And we've been talking about doing something for years. It's just a matter of making it happen. I'd love to take him down to the sets and be like, "Hey, man, let's get you in your Klingon garb and let's just go fucking do it." It's just a matter of making something happen. William says, "No, I meant about the few people who criticize some of your films. Sorry." Oh, no, that's yeah, no, that's exactly it, William. Again, yeah, people sometimes just don't have anything better to do than criticize, and that's just people in general, man. Like, they're not. Yeah. People are dumb sometimes, Bill, and they don't have the good spirit like you do, who have a generosity of, of character. There are just mean people out there no matter what you try to do, yeah, don't be sorry about anything, man. It's just people out there are mean. Ian says like an audio drama. I don't know if it'd be like an audio drama. No, it would be just a flat out table read where we would get the scripts and then we would just read the scripts in character. I mean, you would see us reading. We would probably be like a Skype session, but you would see us. It basically would be kind of like what we do on like interviews. Like right now, but you would see us all reading the script. I mean, it wouldn't be
like an author reading a book, only there's going to be an interchange back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, we're like when Frank pulled up his knife, being creepy. you know, you would see all of us with the script, you know, reading and going through all of it, you know. So it'd be all of us in character, you know, actually reading the thing. So yeah. So Ian says we got to dress up too. No, I think I think I'm good. Because I may be at work when we're doing it, you know, and I've never dressed up in my Starfleet outfit at work. Although I might one day, for, you know, for Halloween, might pop
Oh
on my
yeah,
Star Trek.
I've done that a few times. That's the one thing I love about Bank of America. On my team, we do things like that, and I've gone in the Starfleet uniform. Last time we were in there, I went in as Willie Nelson.
I see the resemblance. I completely, I can completely see it.
I went out and got the wig, and I actually went out and got the, you know, the strap they have on Trigger, that red, white, and blue strap. I have that up in there, a replica of it, and I have my Baby Taylor mini guitar on it. It was really fun. It was fun.
Right on, man. So yeah, the Matthew Bracey says smart criticism is one thing, like a reflection of what others go through, but criticism outright mean is a total wacko. No, and you're absolutely right, and that's something we try to do on this channel. You know, we try to keep it real with people, you know, and you know, like inviting everybody on to talk about what it was like making the film. You know, being honest with, you know, the expectations of what is being able to be done with a lack of budget or full blown budget or whatever. You know, at the end of the day, you know, these are just fan productions. You know, we don't expect perfection. We don't expect full blown. You know, we don't expect everything to be
I'd be
discovery.
harder on an actual professional production and take a look at it. I mean, I might take a look at a harder look at something that was done by New Voyagers or Star Trek Continues a lot more than I will, because I don't really consider those fan films. Honestly, I don't. I think in my mind they're supposed to be fan films, but they're striving for production value.
Well, even at that case, I don't.
I'd be harder. I didn't say I would be disrespectful for 'em.
Well, even at that point, like I found that being, you know, working on fan films has made me less critical of regular productions, because it's just
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's made me well. Here, I'll
We
tell you
know
what. Tell
the
them
background.
tell them what you have coming. Tell them what you have coming up on Wednesday. I'm gonna go clock out for my lunch, and I'll be right back. So, okay.
Wednesday, we have, of course, I don't know what we're going to be doing for the song that morning. We have to record some this weekend. But on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I have a good friend of ours, DJ McGuire, on Filk Quest. Not only is DJ a musician and writes songs and performs by himself, he also plays bass for us, the Nefarious Ferrets. He also plays bass for his original band, the Dimensional Riffs. And in any Filk room or anything like that, he's backing up anybody who's playing at the time, because bass players just love sitting behind there and just plucking their strings. And so I'll have DJ, and that's going to be fun. I hope you guys have been enjoying those, because I've been having a blast doing them. I'm waiting for it to catch on a little bit more. I'm trying to get more of the Filk community over there just to take a look at it. But yeah, it's been going well, and been having fun with that. And it's my other love is playing the guitar and singing songs and having Donna sit behind me and giving me gib slaps while we're doing it.
Right on, man. So William Wells says, I would like to see you dress up Ghostbusters with Roy Thon and Star Trek sets. Well,
that would be neat.
We will be doing the Ghostbuster film at some point. I am taking a break from Star Trek for a year, with the Constar films, I will be writing. We're 4 episodes into uh, Crossroads. I'm going to finish episode 5 and then take a break from that, because that's given us quite a bit of film. And then I'll be doing a couple stuff with Avalon, a couple things with George. I'll be a regular on George's films. I'll be a regular on the Avalon films. Be regular on Frank's film.
You
Films.
haven't written yourself in lately.
Well, I mean, there's, I mean, yeah, no, I'm in because I'm in the
That's
after.
right, the after credits. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the beauty of being a regular on so many series is I get to play bit parts, and that's what I've requested to be. I on the Avalon stuff, I don't want to be a main focus, because we know Minard, so I can be kind of like O'Brien on DS9, where it's like, look, he can walk around in the background, we already know him. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to be have my own fan films, because when I first started and I asked Michael, I said, hey, can I do my own fan films? He said, sure. And I was like, great, because I felt by the time we got to the Valiant films, you would already know Minard, so the story doesn't need to focus on me. And that's where I am again, is like, no matter where I am, if it's George's film and I have a scene, you already know Minard, so you don't need to get to know him again. If I'm on your film, we already know the Phantom, you don't need to get to know me again. Or if we're knowing the Star Trek Picard era. What's that now?
It's a good night, Ian.
Oh, good night, Ian. Or if it's the Star Trek Picard era of Minard, like, we already know him, or have a good idea of him, and we're getting to know that. But we don't need to spend tons of time with him. Or if it's the Avalon Minard, we don't need, we already know a bit of him. He's just in the background. We've already spent, God, 107 films plus cameos. We don't need to know. We don't need to spend tons of time with him. I can be a bit player, and it gives me the chance to take a year off of my own films before I go to Constar Concludes. I can get that break. I can still have fun playing Star Trek. I can still do my other things. I can still spend, be in dad mode. I can still get Mona through school. I can still go to Las Vegas. I can still do Trek Atlanta. I can still do these other things, not get overwhelmed. And I can still help out with everybody and not feel stretched too thin. And I can still do, the YouTube stuff. A change is as good as the rest, they say. No, and that's it. As it feels right now, like I am pretty burnt out of doing Constar Chronicles. It's nice to feel stuff completed, and I feel like Constar completed. When we get to the film Unsteady, I feel like that's a good stopping point. It's kind of like when you've had your fill of pizza and you're ready to push away from the table. Like I'm ready to push away and go do something different. I'm ready to go be a bit player in these different things and go play in Frank's films and go work on those characters and go work on George's stuff and go work on Josh's stuff.
Come play bass with the Nefarious Ferrets.
I don't know if I'll do that, but I appreciate the offer. But I am ready to. I'd love to go talk. I'd ready to go talk. Music with you on one of your shows. You said that you'd like to have me as a guest, and I'd love to come, talk music with you, and some of my experiences with it, because it's a lot of fun.
Maybe I'll set you up for September. I think I'm out to there, so we'll talk about that.
Well, I love the fact that you've got, your show, so far out, and that's one of the things that I think is great. The fact that we've built this channel up, I remember when we started, we've got, quite a bit, we've got Top Geek, we've got Geek Intel, we've got Nerd and Texoma, we've got, so many just different shows, on top of what you and I are doing to build, just to entertain everybody, and William Wells.
Yeah, right. I was just looking at that.
Well, I am part of a Planetary Step, which is Eric Moen's fan film production. I do play Admiral Minard in that production. And I am a semi-regular character in that. So I do, I am in that whenever he writes for me. I do appear in that. I'm already in one of their productions, and he does have future storylines for me in his future storylines. So whenever I get the script, I'm ready to come back. So yeah. So I mean, I do have up and coming, but I
Let
do.
them know that you either have a Captain Grissom or an Admiral Grissom out there willing to help out.
I will let him know. So Matthew Bracey says, did anyone hear Joanne Linville passed the
Yes.
Romulan commander? I did hear, and that's that's a tragedy. And that's one of the things that really sucks about getting older is a lot of the people that we grew up with. Sadly, that's going to happen more and more. You know, that's tragic. You know, you think those people are going to live forever, and sadly they don't. Captain Basley said, "Yes, sad."
Except for Shatner.
Dude, good old Denny Crane himself. I've been watching Boston Legal more and more. I fucking love that show, dude. Him and James Spader. I love that show. You ever watch it?
Yeah, I think I've seen one or two episodes, and I actually should. I mean, it's funny. I got out of a real habit of watching TV for some reason, and I've gotten into the real habit of watching YouTube videos, and I really need to go back and take a look at a couple things that I haven't watched. The last season of Stranger Things. I have missed the 5th season of Expanse. They may even be on the 6th. And I really need to pick up and catch some of it because I had a big prejudice on Discovery, and
Discovery.
really, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Discovery. The thing is, Discovery was hit or miss the first season. Second season was great if you liked TOS. It had enough nods to TOS stuff and was really good, especially with Pike. Number one, it had enough hits that it far outweighed the misses. And then season 3, I liked it. Again, it's not for everybody. I would give it a watch and I'd stick with it. So I'd watch it. If anything, it makes you better at being critical of what is in your own production, and that's one of the things that I think. It's everybody says, and I saw it earlier in a comment, that because of because of the pandemic, everybody's criticizing these days, and everybody wants to be a critic and everything. I feel like that's a good thing, because certainly I've become more critical of things, and I think that's a good thing. I've watched more Discovery. I've watched Picard. And I think it's great. Flip side of the coin, like I watched The Flash last night, and good God, it was a hard sell, to say the least. I think it was probably, in my opinion, I think it was the worst episode of The Flash that I have seen, and that's saying a lot. However, I wasn't toxic about it. It was just like, this is what I would correct. This is what I wouldn't do. This is what I would do. This is what I wouldn't do. This is what not to do in a show. And that's the thing. Having made films, and watching other programs, it really kind of puts you on your toes of what's good and what's not good. And you can definitely tell with, like shows like Battlestar Galactica, this is what they got right. This is what, this is good, but this is where I would course correct and change in my own vision, and that's one of the things that I think is good about, like binge, getting to binge watch a lot of stuff on like Netflix or Hulu, is there's so much at our disposal that we can sit there and say, this is a good time to be alive and a good time to be able to make films. Especially on the budgetary restraints some of us might have. We can review and we can course correct and make our own versions of things if we choose to. And I think, you know, having made films, it's made me less critical of things that I normally would be like, man, fuck that. That's a piece of shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I can see that because you know what goes on behind the scenes. And you know how plots are set up. I mean, you're one hell of a writer. So you can see that you know, you're a heck of a lot better writer than I am. And we all have our special talents. You know, I do sound, I do, you know, I don't do editing yet, but you know, I love to direct and stuff like that and try to get the emotions out on people. But that's where you can see it. You can tell a good director in a film whether he's getting the most out of his people. And that's what I look for. So there's different things you look for in films.
Well, well, first, I thank you for the compliment on writing. I think when when you write a story, I think you really should take inspiration from people who you know, and then go as basis for that. Like, who does this sound like to me? And then take inspiration from that, and then just go. Like, if it, and that's how you make characters believable. How would so and so respond in this situation? And then just go from there. And then the other half of that performance is the actor. Let them craft the other half of that, and that's what makes it believable. You know, it's not, you know, I don't expect my actors to stick to the script. I only use that as the basis. That's the foundation. The rest of it has to be the actor. And then, you know, give them that breathability, because if they have to stick to it word for word, then they're basically just robots. And that's not why you hire an actor. You hire an actor because they bring a certain level of charisma and charm. But it shouldn't be a rule book. It should be a guidebook. You know, it's kind of like when you read the Bible to a series. It's usually very different from what the series ends up being. And that's kind of way a script should be. A script should be just a guide, not a rule book. And a lot of people tend to forget that. So I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of wisdom that's forgotten when you actually make a script, or, you know, make a film. People tend to forget that. So I appreciate the compliment, but you know, a lot of my films are a lot of that's the actors. It's not me. Although I appreciate you enjoying my scripts. Captain Baxley says, I like the props in Discovery. Hard to reconcile the rest with Enterprise and TOS. They do a really good job on their props. What I would recommend to anybody that has a hard time reconciling is you really have to turn your brain off to, you know, this does not compute. Otherwise, you'll drive yourself crazy. You know, you really will. You know, except for the Klingons. The Klingon thing really bothers me, but you know, if that gets fixed in season 2, you know, but you just have to turn your brain off for that. Matthew Bracey says, the thing I was looking at Alex Kobayashi Maru, I saw a spitting image of Finnegan. Right on, man. So Captain Baxley says, William Wells, pass our condolences. Her mom was well loved in TOS fandom. Likewise, your friend did a fantastic job in the same role. Yeah, William Wells knows her daughter. Yeah, William, will you please pass all of our condolences on? William Wells says, will do. So thank you, William. But anyway, so Frank, we've been on for an hour and 14 minutes. So
yes, we have.
So
I've enjoyed every 5 seconds of it.
in spurts. It's not consistent. It's just every 5 seconds you then enjoy it. So that's
because I enjoy talking to Ian. The hell with you.
I feel the same way. I'm every 5 seconds I look at my check account and I'm like, okay, Donna's check passed. So, you know, it's when I glance up, look at my bank account. So, you know, it's all good, man. It's all good. So that being said, guys, don't forget tomorrow we do have 10 o'clock we have Critical Not Cynical episode that involves Interlude. So come join us. We also have on Sunday, we have at 7 p.m. Central Time, Odyssey Part 2. So come join that premiere. Then Monday, we have Jason Spriggs on the Pizza Roll Diaries. And then Tuesday night, we have at 10 p.m., we have an episode of, well, it's fair and unfair criticisms of fan films.
Which will not be a series. It will just
No,
be
that's not.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a WTF is this? Yeah, what is this? And then on Wednesday we have it's basically Frank Day, so which is every Wednesday. So
now it's going to be known as Wednesday instead of Hump Day. It's going to be known as Poll Day.
Good God, Frank, is there no end to your perverseness?
I hope not.
I think I threw up in my mouth, Frank.
Score.
Anyway. All right, guys. That being said, everybody, thank you for showing up. You guys always bless us with your presence. We appreciate that. That being said, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.